What's up, Project Cars 2 fans? David Land here, and today we are going to be participating in the second most prestigious IndyCar race of them all, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Now, this event has not always been an IndyCar race. It actually started life as a Formula 5000 race. Then it transitioned into a Formula 1 Grand Prix. It was known as the United States Grand Prix West. And then in 1984, the kart IndyCars took over the event. The first one was won by Mario Andretti. And ever since then, the IndyCars have come to Long Beach each and every year. So today we are going to do a 21-lap race at the Long Beach Street Circuit. As you can see, I'm driving what is maybe one of the more iconic liveries that has ever driven around this circuit, the Target Lightning Bolt scheme that was made so very famous, especially in 1998 when Alex Zanardi came from a lap down to pass both Brian Herta and Dario Franchitti in the closing laps of the race to take his Long Beach Grand Prix victory. Of course, this particular car was driven by Scott Dixon in 2016 to a second place finish behind Simon Pagenaud. This is a fantastic street circuit, and it's fantastically recreated in Project Cars 2. And man, oh man, is it fun to drive on. It's going to be very difficult. I think I'm going to be silent for a lot of the race because of the fact that it requires such focus and concentration. Another thing in this video that I was planning on doing but has decided to change my mind on is that I was originally going to have a mandatory pit stop in this race. However, since the AI don't abide by the you have to change the tire compound rules, we're just going to do a 21-lap sprint with no scheduled pit stops in this race. So let's take a look at the starting grid real quick because I think you're going to find it fairly interesting. So no real surprise, Will Power will roll off from the pole position. In second place, a bit of a surprise, Marco Andretti. And then I managed to put my car third on the grid, which if you guys know me, I'm generally not the fastest guy in the world, but a 108.5 in traffic in the heat of the day. Long Beach qualifying takes place fairly late in the day, and I simulated that here. That's a pretty good lap time, so I was pretty happy with that. Then we've got one of the Foyt cars. Hard to tell if it's the 41 or the 14. And then we've got Joseph Newgarden. Then it's Sebastian Bourdais, Max Chilton, Alexander Rossi, Simon Pagenaud, Mikhail Aloshin. We got Alex Tagliani, and then Graham Rahal bringing up the rear. Can only do 12 AI. As you guys are well aware, the Xbox One console limitations kind of create a bit of havoc when you go over a certain number of AI. It fluctuates from track to track. I found if you run 11 AI, you'll have good physics throughout at the Long Beach Street Circuit. So enough of this pre-race show. Let's get to the racing here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. So, we're on the grid here at Long Beach doing something that I have not done in Project Cars 2 in quite a while, and that is a formation lap. Now, you may be wondering, why are you doing a formation lap at Long Beach? Well, the formation laps used to not work in Project Cars 2. Well, they did. You could do them. But they made the field spread out to the point where it was pretty much the most unrealistic start you could possibly imagine. Most motorsport series, when they do rolling starts, want the grid to be very, very tightly packed. They want the pretty pictures in the paper. However, in Project Cars 2, that didn't work that way. A lot of times the field was so spread out, it was just not even worth doing a formation lap. But in one of the most recent patches, they've actually fixed this so that the back markers that used to not really pack up for the formation lap now start accelerating on the back straightaway, and by the time you get to the final corner, generally speaking, the field is packed up and ready to roll. However, at Long Beach, it's going to be a bit interesting because of that hairpin. It always makes that a bit of a touch-and-go situation. The Foyt car behind me is Hawksworth. Of course, that would be Matthias Leist if this was a 2018 IndyCar update, but it's not. I'm still kind of holding out a little bit of hope, but not holding my breath that maybe they'll add the 2018 body kits to the game. But again, I'm not holding my breath on that. So here we come through the final set of corners, and we should be packing up here. Power on the pole. We'll start directly behind him. Andretti across the front row. Hawksworth, then Newgarden, and Bourdais in row 3. So here we go into the hairpin, and we're going to try not to kill it or illegally overtake before the line. And we're through the hairpin. So is row 2 and row 3. Ready to go here at Long Beach. As the field forms up, the lights come up underneath the Toyota bridge. Let's bring the action, as Lee Diffie would say. And we're underway at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. We get the drop on Hawksworth, but there's really nowhere to go behind Andretti and Power. So we're going to be real careful there in turn 1. Bringing it in nice and easy. Early braking, and Hawksworth took a dive. It's actually going to allow Newgarden through on the inside. Power smacks the wall. Don't know if he lost his wing or not. No, he didn't. Power holds that position. Oh, but we're going to dive up the inside here. This is a low percentage move, I would say, but I pulled it off. I'm not really sure how I managed to do that, but Marco Andretti leads the Long Beach Grand Prix. Now, I have 10 push-to-passes, but per IndyCar rules, you're generally not supposed to use it on the first lap, so I'm not going to. But as soon as we get into lap 2, the DRS zone is going to be opened, I guess I'll say, to use an F4 reference. So we'll be able to use the push-to-pass. But Marco, with the side-by-side action between me and Power, has been able to pull out a little bit of a lead. So we're going to see if we can close in on Marco. But I had a bad braking zone through there, and it actually allowed, Will Power to dive up the inside, but he'll lose his front wing. We've made some contact. I don't think I damaged my car. I don't know if that was Power's fault. I don't know if we came into each other. You guys will have a better understanding of that than I will with the replay angle. But that's going to allow Jack Hawksworth and Sebastian Bourdais past Will Power, as I really threw it into turn 1. A little too ambitious, I would say, through there. I'm going to have to calm my nerves a little bit. Oh, that's a little too wide, and then I really hate this corner, even though I passed Power through there on lap 1. That was almost into the wall right there. Too much braking, David. Too much braking. Sector 2 is not my best sector. Sector 1, I'm really fast through the fountain, through turn 1. But this second sector, boy, it's a shambles. So we get through there better than we did on lap 1. Didn't allow Hawksworth to really get a good run. Still not particularly perfect through the hairpin. You may notice my virtual driver's arms are quite crossed up. Mine are just that crossed up in real life. But when I go through the hairpin, it's pretty crazy. But that's how it is in real life. Thankfully, we do have an advantage here, and that is a little bit of clean air. Marco's so far ahead that my wings are actually going to get some downforce on them, which is going to be quite nice. This game actually does model dirty air quite well, especially on these road courses and street circuits, I guess if you call this one. If you get directly behind somebody, you start to lose front grip, and it's just that much more of a struggle to get around them. That's exactly how it is in real life, so I appreciate that they modeled it, even though it is a bit of an annoyance. So I need to stop locking the brakes up quite as much. Remember, these reds have to last 21 laps. If I use them up to the point where they're unusable at the end of the race, I'm in deep trouble. I haven't even used the push to pass yet. Haven't felt I really want to use it just yet. Not really close enough to Marco to think it's really going to make much of a difference. Turn 1, fairly conservative through there that time. With the fountain, just clipping the apex, get right out next to the walls here. I think that's what makes me so fast in that first sector is I really attack, really get close to the walls. The second sector is difficult because it's up and down. There's a lot of elevation change for a street circuit. A lot of the braking zones are downhill, especially over there. Not so much down here. The back straightaway. Slowly but surely we're catching Marco up. That was a better hairpin for me. You can absolutely stamp on the throttle. These Aero Kit cars produce so much downforce that you don't really have to worry about the wheel spin. And we are catching Marco up, so we'll be there eventually. Assuming I don't lock the brakes up and go into the wall over there. I'm going to have to brake earlier next lap. Whoa, a little too ambitious through the fountain section. On the curbs. Just kind of have to tiptoe through there. Otherwise, car will push off into the wall. Just a nice apex through there. Walking on eggshells through this section of the course is the one place where you really can't slam on the throttle or really be the last of the late breakers. Back end starting to step out a little bit. I actually added a bunch of rear downforce to this car to make it more stable in the race versus qualifying. But obviously as the tire wear falls off, it's going to be more difficult. On the second gear. So I'm able to get fairly close. I'm getting fairly close to Marco. It's going to be all about that consistency over the long course of a stint to be able to pull this off. I think I'll use a push to pass on the main straightaway this time. Woo! That was I should have been in second gear for that corner. I was in third and decided to chuck it in anyway. Bad mistake on my part. So we're using the first push to pass of the day because Hawksworth was closing in, but also because I said I would use it. So we'll see how much I can gain here. Got to be a bit cautious here in turn one because we're going in at a much higher rate of speed than we were the last lap, and I didn't manage to really get it all that well on that lap, but this time, much better. As you hear, fastest first sector. Marco's still off in the distance. But we're at least pulling away from Hawksworth, and that's a good thing. Second gear that time. Got to be really tiptoeing through there. You can't attack it like you can in qualifying. And I kind of missed the apex there just a little bit. Alright, let's just continue to be consistent here. Definitely, we're not losing Marco. He's still just up the road. The other thing that's going to help is the fuel is going to be burning off during this, so obviously less weight. Theoretically, we can go faster throughout the race. And I fueled this car as little as possible. The estimation said 21 laps on the dot. So we're going to be running out as we cross the line, but that's how you need to do it. Hopefully we won't be in a duel at the end of this thing. Because that might be a little bit difficult if we run out, coming side by side to the line with somebody. But you never know. Still seeing that rear wing of Marco Andretti just up the road, unless that's a lap car. A lap car would help me out a lot because I think the AI still struggles lapping cars at Long Beach as I really locked up the brakes big time into turn one. Again, gotta be Careful, careful, careful with that. Had a little bit of wheel spin out of the fountain. Ooh, almost took a little too much curve there. Almost pushed the car out in the tires. We don't want to do that. Just trying to get the consistent line as best I can in these corners. I'll tell you what, wearing a sweatshirt during this is a bad idea. But then again, I guess it's more realism. Should have pushed to pass there. Well, the spotters or the race engineer is happy with the pace, so never mind. Good old G27 giving me a nice shake down the main straightaway for whatever reason. That's the, you should have bought an Xbox One X shake. Maybe after Indy 500 month, I'll invest in an Xbox One X for this game. We can run full grids. Full grids are always fun. Alright, gonna use my second push to pass on this lap coming to the start-finish line. Hairpin on the button. Get a little bit extra horsepower down the main straightaway. See if we can't catch that car in front of us. I'm a little bit worried it's a lap car and not Marco. Kind of hard to tell. Woo, a little bit of a lockup. Oh, a little bit of contact with the wall. Woo, that was pushing it. That was pushing it in turn one. No, that's still Marco. It's a yellow car. I thought it was a black car for a second. That's probably because the draw distance isn't drawing the Snapple yellow on the back of Marco's car. So we're still chasing him down. I guess I have decent pace. Woo! Another push. Almost out into the wall that time. Get it down. Come on, David. Use another push to pass. Seems like that worked the last time to really get in or start to close the gap down on Marco. We gotta break early. Gotta break early. Woo! G27 bouncing all over the place. A little bit of lack of traction through the fountain section. Boink, over the curb. That was much better. Man, it feels so much slower, man. The tire fall off is real. Just don't have the braking I had before. But the funny thing is, everybody else is slowing down to my pace as well. Because Marco's still up the road. I do want to save some push to pass for the end of the race, because Marco gets held up by a lap car or something, then I want to have something to use against him. But I also don't want to just let him run away. And I did feel like the push to pass was really helping me find some pace. It's tough. Woo! Over the curb and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. No. That was a lockup. That was a big lockup. Just going to have to keep braking early. Seems like Marco's struggling for grip as well. It seems like everybody's kind of falling into my pace. So that's a good thing. That means as long as I can keep the car on the black stuff, we're not in trouble. Alright, I'm going to use a push to pass again. Still got 7 left. And we'll have 6 left now. You can actually see it on the steering wheel. If you look directly in the center, you can see how many push to passes I have left. But I know that's kind of small on a small YouTube screen, so I'll try to keep you updated as best I can. As the G27 is really, or the G920 I should say, is really struggling on the Long Beach front straightaway. Went in a little too hard to the fountain. Again, pushed out too wide. Woo! That was another push. Big push. Not fun. Still just see Marco going off into the corner down here. That was better. Do I use push to pass or do I not? No, I'm going to use it. So we've got 5 overtakes to go. Yeah, the G920 is really on the struggle bus down the main straightaway. Woo, that was a little too much curve there. And a little too much brake through the fountain section. Over the curb. Boy, would I love some lap traffic right now. Where's Will Power? Did he pit? Why isn't he holding on Marco? First lap I haven't used a push to pass in 2 laps. And the wheel is still struggling down the main straightaway. Boing, 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 clipping, 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 clipping. And that's a brake lock up from yours truly. Let's see if we can get the fountain section a little bit better this time. Whoa! Well, I tried to back it up and I still almost understeered into the wall. That would have been a bad thing. A little bit worried about falling into the clutches of Jack Hawksworth. He is just back there. Definitely feels like my tires are struggling right now. Gotta quit locking up. Nice apex, bro. Yeah, I definitely think that Hawksworth is closing in. The race engineer is asking me to push harder. I don't know if that's a good idea. That was decent. Just gotta stay focused. Ooh! That was the car jumping the curb there and almost put me in the outside fence right there. And that's a brake lock up because I lost my rhythm. Here comes Hawksworth. I would like second, please. Thank you, buddy. I did turn my spotter on. I guess they kind of have spotters on street circuits in IndyCar these days.
2 lanes back.
So I guess we'll go with that. Alright, push to pass. This is really the push to block, but whatever. There's another car behind Hawksworth. So it looks like we've got a bit of a truly trained foreman behind us. Wheel's still really struggling with the front straightaway. First gear, clip that apex. Clip another apex. Alright, we need to not clip this apex. There, much better. I didn't almost crash through there. Find that apex. Thank you, David. Thank you. Hawksworth still closing in behind. I see him in the mirrors. Into second gear. Keep the brakes on. Down into first. The hairpin going. Hawksworth closing in. Don't think I'll need the push to pass this time. I want to hold on. I got 4 push to passes to go. I don't know how much longer in the race, though. I'd love it if the race engineer gave me some, like, 2 laps to go or something. I guess we'll find out. I know it'll tell me when the last lap is. That's not going to be the most helpful thing in the world. And another thing, as usual, you can see the track rubbering in throughout the course of the race. Ooh! You can see the rubber marks all the way down the main straightaway here, so I'm going to stop talking about that because we've got Jack Hawksworth coming very quickly. It's going to be a fight for the podium spots here in the Long Beach Grand Prix. There's another car behind Hawksworth. It may be Bourdais. Still no lap update, so I'm in the dark on that one for now. Woo-wee! The wheel. Feels like I've got a broken shock absorber on the car, but no, it's just a wheel clipping again. It's interesting. Sometimes the G920, even though they've definitely improved it quite a bit on the Xbox One, it's still in longer races will just start randomly clipping on you, especially on main straightaways, for whatever reason. It's so strange. Trying to find those apexes. Here comes Hawksworth up behind. And I think we're farther away from him than the last lap. So I found some pace on this lap that I didn't have before, even though Hawksworth is closing in right now. Woohoo! There's 2 lengths back, but I think we're going to have the acceleration on him here out of the hairpin. Come on, Chevy power. Still not the final lap. So we still at least got 2 laps to go. To hold on to second place as Marco Andretti drives the race of his life and pulls away from Scott Dixon at Long Beach. Anyone want to take bets on whether or not that's going to happen this weekend? I had to walk on eggshells again. Not very confident in the car that was going to stay underneath me. So I got on the throttle there. The car gave up a little bit of grip as well through there. Oh no, no, no! I lost my front wing. Just that quickly. Just that quickly. Oh boy. That's street racing right there. Bourdais trying to make the pass. I did try to do the sportsmanly thing and let him through, but, well, let's come in and get it repaired. Oh, that was a major fail. I would have held on to third place if I'd known I was racing for the last lap. I was coming around on the last lap, and then I came into the pits. Oh, how stupid was that? Oh, how stupid was that? I set the fastest lap of the race, it looks like, at a 108.526. No, willpower actually went faster to 108.2, but that tells you that the clean air definitely helps you out quite a bit. Thankfully, I wasn't last. We'll bring it home 8th. I could have had a 4th. It really should have been a 4th. Oh well. So how to absolutely fail on the last lap, courtesy yours truly. Oh man. I swear I did not hear the race engineer say it was the last lap. If not, I would have been so cautious. But regardless, man, it was fun. I hope you guys were entertained by it, even in my stupidity, my infinite stupidity, coming into the pits on the last lap and losing 4 positions. Boy, oh boy, look at that pass on power. I'm impressed by that. I should not have been able to pull off that pass, but I was able to do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. Leave a like and subscribe for more motorsports and Project Cars 2 content. I think I'll do another Long Beach race later on in the week, so stay tuned for that. You can probably guess what it's going to be. So we'll see ya in the next video.